life is fucking hard. You know, Nick? Life is beautiful. Life has a lot of great things, but life is not easy. But you gotta keep on keeping on. You gotta do it for yourself, most importantly. You gotta do it for your kid and your wife and, you know, whoever, your other dogs that you have.
Are you gonna drown your sorrows in booze or food? Are you gonna socially isolate yourself and just slip deeper and deeper into that depression? Or are you gonna have a little bit of that, which is normal, but then get yourself back into a place where you can continue on with life?
But if you're a strong person and you got your shit together and you know how to navigate through these webs of life, and then you can catch and hold somebody and navigate them, that only is gonna work for them, but it's gonna work for you as well. With that, by default, it's a win-win situation.
Definitely. You know, Mike, you say something all the time, and it stuck with me the last time you said it, and I thought it might be a good idea for an episode. You talk about people having a case of the fix, right? But really what you're saying is people end up feeling depressed a lot of times in life, and this can happen for so many reasons. You have a family member pass away, an animal or a pet that you've taken care of for a long time can pass away, you lose a job. There are so many things that are just unavoidable in life. Eventually, you will have to deal with it. And the way you deal with it and how you bounce back is a real true measure of how strong you are as a person and your ability to stay healthy, stay focused, and to move on with your life, right? Because again, these things are coming for all of us. We're all going to have a family member pass away at some point in our life. If we have pets, we're all going to have that pet pass before we do. Maybe unless it's a turtle or a parrot, in which case you got to put in your will and give it to one of your kids. But other than that, that pet is going to die before you. Right? So I'm making a joke about it, but it's sad.
No,
It's sad. You know, a dog, a cat, these things are emotional ticking time bombs. You know, I don't have to tell you that it can be very hard to put an animal down, right?
Yeah.
But the big thing with it is how you react, how you bounce back, right? Are you gonna drown your sorrows in booze or food? Are you gonna socially isolate yourself and not be available to talk to anyone, to see anyone, and just slip deeper and deeper into that depression? Or are you going to have a little bit of that, which is normal, but then get yourself back into a place where you can continue on with life? Because whether or not you believe it, the person who you lost would want you to get back into your regular life. That dog that you lost would want you to get another dog, to get back on the horse, to get back out there, to laugh, to have fun, to enjoy your life again. And that's what you have to do.
You know what, Nick? You're 100% correct. And the best thing you said there is, whether you like it or not, these things are going to happen to you. And if you're young, you think they're not going to. You know, I remember I heard this, I won't butcher the numbers, Nick. It was about cancer. And there was a statistics that if you live a certain amount of life, X amount of people in your circle are going to deal with the big C. And when I heard that, it was like, nah. You know, in my mind, I was like, no. But as you get older, this one gets cancer, and that one gets cancer, and this one dies of cancer. And you're like, oh my God, that thing, you know, it was probably like for a drive up, you know, when they put the pink ribbon and I saw the commercial.
Yeah.
And it was, 20 years ago. But now I know a lot of people that have had cancer, that have passed from cancer. And these things, as you get older, become more and more of a reality. And they will come. They will come for you. The loss of a parent, of a dog, a divorce, a death of a loved one. And really, if you shake the hand to the idea that this is coming for you, you'll be prepared. I take that back, Nick. You're never fucking prepared for death of someone that you care about, or a bad diagnosis, or a freak accident. But at least you know what's on the menu. And you can be prepared of what are the tools that I can learn from other people and be prepared for when this storm does come from me, that I can mourn, feel sad, eat a bag of donuts, drink a pile of booze, but then shake myself off and keep on keeping on so I don't become another statistic.
That's right. In the same way that you have like some emergency preparedness stuff, like you want to make sure that you have a little bottled water at the house in case the water goes out. You want to make sure that you got some backup batteries or a generator, right? Or you have some food in the pantry that's always there as a just in case. A lot of people do this, right? Doomsday preppers, you should be emotionally prepping too, because you need to be prepared in life for these things that we all know are coming. And hopefully, people can listen to our podcast today and take a few of these techniques that we're going to share with them and have a little bit of emotional preparedness there for when tough things come in life.
What you said in the beginning was so important because life is going to kick your fucking ass. It's going to kick your ass with disease and loss and divorces and loss of income and failed businesses. And the key is, how do you navigate? How do you navigate these hard times? How do you push pause, drink some extra booze, eat a whole bag of Reese's peanut butter cups, go and cry, do drugs, whatever you do, whatever your escape is. But how do you get back out and get back to your family and to the healthy nutrition and go from Reese's peanut butter cups to broccoli and no exercise to get back on the treadmill? And that's what I really think that we wanted to focus in with this episode. These punches are going to come, but how do you make sure that you go into that box of depression, sadness, defeat, insecurities, and then come back out and keep on grinding, like the people that you lost, or your mom and your dad who is still alive, or you yourself know you need to be.
And just so it's said, depression is not only from loss. Some people just experience depression, and there's actually no reason why. They have some kind of mental imbalance happening inside. There's chemicals that are off in whatever way that is, and they just feel depressed. Not because someone passed, not because they lost a pet. They just feel low. They feel down. But there's good news for those people, and for all the people who are feeling low. Exercise can be a really good antidote to mild to moderate depression in almost 67% of people who are feeling and experiencing that low feeling. And so obviously people have heard us say before, exercise, staying active, it's important so that you can be healthy. But in addition to just your overall physical health, that exercise can be transformational for your mental health as well. Just so people know, only 23% of people who are depressed keep a consistent exercise routine. But having that consistent exercise routine through your bouts of depression can make you come out of the depression up to 3 times faster.
Wait, say that again. So 23.
About a quarter of people who are depressed continue to exercise. So 3/4 of people who are feeling depression, if they have been exercising, they just let it go and they stop.
Really?
They just let it go. But the people who do consistently exercise and push through can relieve that depression up to 3 times faster.
Wow.
So it really is a huge benefit for people to push through, to do the workout when you're not feeling like doing it, to keep exercising, and sometimes exercising outside as well, because sunlight is also a really good therapy, a natural therapy for a case of the blues, or the fuck it's, as you say.
Wait, because I want to motivate people and make people know that they're not alone. So would those numbers, I could be wrong. Let's say we had 100 people, right? You said 25%.
Yeah.
100 people, and they were all exercising, and they got hit with a shit storm. Are you saying
Only about 25 of them are going to keep going.
Wow.
Yeah, 75% of the people are going to just let it go.
This.
Not forever, but they're going to let it go, and it's going to be a while, and then they're going to have to fight back.
Really? Those aren't great numbers.
They're not, but I understand them.
Yeah, no, me too.
I understand them. But again, if that's going to last, because depression can last in most people 6 to 8 months if it's a moderate to severe depression, right? So that's a long time. We're not talking about 2-3 days. So if you can shave, 6 months off of a 9-month problem, that's a big deal, right? Couple weeks, couple months. So the exercising, I mean, it's releasing endorphins. It's doing so much for your body to bring you back to a good place. And like I said, if you can get a little bit of outdoor exercise, even just 15 minutes of sunlight during the day can help people to relieve the symptoms of depression. I guess it's the vitamin D.
Life is fucking hard. You know, Nick? Life is beautiful. Life has a lot of great things, but life is not easy. And anybody out there on TV tells you that life is fair and it should be fair and it's all roses, and it's not. And your health, like they say, the world doesn't stop. The world keeps on spinning and the time doesn't stop. The second hand on your watch doesn't stop, Nick. You have an obligation to yourself to take the time to mourn, to go through what you're going through. But you got to keep on keeping on. You got to do it for yourself, most importantly. You got to do it for your kid and your wife and, whoever, your other dogs that you have, until, the final curtain falls for you.
People need to decide what their bare bones minimum activities for those first couple days are going to be. Non-negotiable. Whether or not I feel like total trash, what am I going to get accomplished? Am I going to just go for a walk outside and get some sunlight? Am I going to just reach out to a friend and try to talk about what's going on with me? Or am I going to get on the bike and try to ride for a half hour, or get on the elliptical, or get on the treadmill and try to get something in that day? Because again, as much as you don't feel like you want to do it, once you get it accomplished, you will feel better. Even if it's 1, 2, 3% better, you will feel just a little bit better. And be prepared. Know what that minimum amount of activity that you're going to want to get accomplished in these times of grief are going to be, because that's going to be important for you to start to get through it.
We sometimes look at these people, Nick, that roll with the punches. Maybe they're not cut so fucking deep. Maybe they're fucking just empty shells. I don't want to be an empty shell. I'd rather be sick, broken, beaten, scarred, and be a real fucking person that touches real people and helps people, than somebody who can just be robotic and fucking move through life like they've never been scathed by anything. I never even thought about this until just now. This is great stuff, Nick. It's like therapy.
It's like being on the couch at a psychologist's office.
Thank you, Nick.
Psychiatrist's office.
Does that make sense?
No, it does make sense.
Does
It
that
does
make
make
sense?
You're not dead on the
We
inside.
beat ourselves down and we say, oh, why can't I be stronger? Maybe you are stronger. Maybe you just got a fucking big heart and you actually give a fuck.
Yeah.
If
people are experiencing these, if traumatic events happen and people are experiencing depression, and if it's lasting for more than 2-3 weeks, seek out the help of a professional. Don't do it on your own. Couple days of grief, someone passes, that's normal.
where do
You're
they go,
feeling
Nick?
low.
Where do they go?
I mean, they can call, if they're feeling like they're going to do some self-harm, they can call a suicide prevention line. They can a lot of times call their healthcare provider or their insurance company and get the number for either a telehealth visit with a professional, or to go see an actual in-person visit with a psychiatrist, a psychologist. They can go do any number of wellness routines for themselves. They can get a massage. They can just go talk to a friend. They can, seek professional help in whatever way seems right in that moment, but do not only do it on your own. Especially, like I said, if you're having thoughts of suicide, if you're having thoughts of self-harm, if you're thinking about harming anyone else, these are reasons why you need to immediately seek professional help, because that is not okay. It's not okay to hurt yourself or someone else in these serious traumatic times. Very important.
I didn't even thought of that. Do people go out and hurt other people when they've had loss? Is that a thing?
I think it is. Well, sometimes it can make you feel better to make someone else feel bad. Certain people just get off on that. So I think it depends on probably your personality.
I would have always just chalked that up as somebody is a piece of shit or a mental illness. I never would have thought about like somebody having a loss and going out and hurting somebody else to make themselves feel better about it. Not that that's a good thing. But
No,
never,
but
I
just
never thought about
in a
it.
general sense, if
Yeah.
you're feeling like things are hopeless, if you're feeling like there's no way out of the deep hole you're in, do not do it on your own.
Right.
You have friends, you have family. And again, whether or not you have insurance, there are plenty of free hotlines out there to call up just to talk to somebody. And sometimes just a little bit of social interaction can be just enough to start to pull you out of that funk. And it's important.
Right. And look, me and Nick are very mindful to never speak out of our lane and never to be in the fitness industry. There's a lot of cheese, smoke, and snake oil salesmen, and they'll make you feel like their diet or their fitness program is going to save it all. But if you eat a healthy diet and you continue to try to do the best you can through these hard times, it's definitely going to be a tool in your toolbox to make sure that you get through that storm.
Right. And like you're saying, when you're feeling good is the time to make sure that you're filling the tank with good foods, that you're being, that you're staying active, that you're exercising, that you're eating nutritious foods, because you might dip out of that when things do get rough, and you want to go into it being as healthy and feeling as good as possible, so that if you have a few days, a bad week, you don't totally fall off the edge, because you've already set yourself up to be healthy, to be active, to be in shape. And that way you have a little bit of room to have a cheat week, to have a problem week, and then be able to bounce back, right?
Correct.
And another thing I wanted to say was, this might not be you, but you might know someone who's going through this. And that is a very important time to reach out, to call them, to bring them a meal, to just say, force them to come outside with you. Meet me for a coffee, meet me at the beach for a walk, something. But be aware of the people around you, because it might not be you, but it could be your neighbor, your friend, your coworker, your uncle, your brother, someone else. They might need you right now. And it might be the time where you have to reach out to them and try to begin to pull them out of their funk. Don't be afraid to have someone, to help someone who you love or someone who's close to you, and just be there to listen. Don't be there to lecture them. Don't be there to tell them what they're supposed to do. Just tell them that you're there to hear whatever they want to talk about. And I think that can be really important for people too.
That's huge, Nick. And I think like that would be like the true level of strength, right? It's hard enough to be strong for yourself, but if you're somebody that has the strength to be strong for you, the next level of strength is to be strong for somebody else and others.
Yeah.
And
you would hope they would do the same for you. Because like we said, this is coming for everybody, right? At some point, we're all going to deal with this. And at the end of the day, if you can help somebody else out with it, they might remember when you're in need and reach out to you as well.
Yeah.
And I think that can be really important for people.
Absolutely. Look, I always say to the boys, Mike and Sebastian, you can never be wrong by doing the right thing, and maybe we'll make shirts that say that, Nick. But, being strong for people is, you can never be wrong for that. And I think that without sounding selfish, by being a pillar of strength for others, you actually even elevate yourself more by default.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be the goal.
Yeah.
But if you're a strong person and you got your shit together and you know how to navigate through these webs of life, and then you can catch and hold somebody and navigate them, that only is going to work for them, but it's going to work for you as well. With that, by default, it's a win-win situation.
Definitely.
And like you said, Nick, it's coming for us all. Shit is coming for us. Like, if you got nothing from this podcast, God's going to come and bitch smack you at some point. He's going to, at least once.
I think the takeaways for me from this episode are: prepare for the storm emotionally, right? A lot of people prepare for the storm physically by stocking the tuna fish and the water and all the things in the closet.
The zombies.
But as life goes on, the emotional problems are going to come too. So begin to prepare for those emotional problems that are coming down the line in the same way that you would prepare for the lights going out or the hurricane or all these other things. And we're doing that by making sure we're eating healthy, making sure we're exercising, coming up with a plan of the non-negotiable things that you will do no matter what comes across in life. Staying active, getting a little bit of sunlight, making sure you're seeing people, not crawling deeper into that hole, even if it's a 10 or 15-minute walk. What are you going to get accomplished every day at your darkest time? And in addition to that, look around you. If there's someone you know and love who's going through a problem, Offer to take them to the supermarket this week. Do some laundry for them. Ask them if they just want to talk. Invite them out. Tell them you're going to pick them up and just take them out to go do something very simple. But reach out to people who you know who might need something. Take the time to give that person in your life who's in need a little bit of extra tender love, affection, attention, caring, and hopefully they'll do the same to you when you need it.
Yeah. And, sometimes, that's great of you, Nick, to talk about that, about being, uh, a pillar of strength for others. But sometimes it's about what's going on with you, right? And sometimes a bitch smack or a God smack or whatever you want to call it could just be a wake call, right?
You're right.
If somebody has a small stroke or a heart attack, hey man, now you have a decision to make. The cheese and the donuts and the fried food and the processed carbohydrates, well, you're going to have them packed, because if you're listening to this, you've been patched up. They put a stent in there. They gave you a statin. Are you gonna live to go to fucking round 2? Or are you gonna clean it all up and you're gonna be smart and say, you know what? I got out. I got a little balloon put in there, a little scar here, but now no more. I'm gonna go beans and lentils and broccoli, and I'm gonna start to exercise every day. And now you live another 50 years, and it was the very thing that saved your life. So sometimes these setbacks, when you lose a loved one or a dog, if you love those people like big time, there's no replacing them. But sometimes when it's happening to you, a setback, a health scare, a near-death experience, it could be the very thing that makes the rest of your life phenomenal, filled with energy, a body that you thought you never have. You have a fucking heart attack when you're 35 years old, Nick, and you get scared and they read you the riot act and say that you're going to die. You may come out, you might always been like Fat Frankie that was 50 pounds overweight, and you come out now, you become a personal trainer, you get shredded and wrecked and lose 50 pounds because you're scared that you don't want it to happen again, and the rest of your life is fucking aces. So sometimes these setbacks, there's an old saying, sometimes setbacks are just setups for what's to come. So it's not all doom and gloom until the curtain comes down, right?
Yeah, sometimes you just need a reminder of your own mortality to get your acting in gear, right?
Yeah.
And I had, a couple, not that it's as bad as you were just saying, but I had a scary lipid panel come back a few months back, and it really snapped me at attention. And I changed the way I was eating, and it wasn't even that bad to begin with. But I changed things around, and I got my cholesterol into shape. But it really made me think, what am I doing?
In 6 weeks, you got your lipid.
And we're gonna do an episode on that.
Yeah.
We're gonna do an episode on that. But it really made me think, is it worth it? Is what I'm doing to myself worth not seeing my son grow old? Is what I'm doing to myself worth not being able to grow old myself with my wife? And the answer was it wasn't.
Right.
And so I changed it. Cheeseburgers are not worth it.
Right.
They're not.
Your luck's going to run out. My luck's going to run out. You just don't want to add a ton of shit that's 10 seconds, 10 minutes of fulfillment.
It's not worth
to
it.
make that luck run out quicker.
Exactly. Exactly.
So if you've been watching this and you've had a loss of a loved one or a disease or an illness or a setback or a divorce or a loss of a job, a lot of times these are just setbacks to set you up for better things to come. So you can either, to quote my dad, R.I.P. Dad, you can either soar with the eagles or shit with the pigeons, right? And pigeons sit in their own shit. So if you want to have a pigeon mentality, you'll sit there and call your fat friends and this people that are losing and still grieving 17 years later, or you could hang out with the eagles. Acknowledge the loss, acknowledge the financial setback, the disease, and say, okay, I'm still here, still breathe, still feel, still can speak. What now? What can I do now? And there's a lot they can do, Nick.
And remember, with the loss of a loved one, think about what they would want for you. They don't want you feeling depressed, dipping lower and lower and lower. They want you, if you're still out here, if you're still alive and kicking, they want you to enjoy yourself. They want you to be out there experiencing life, spending time with loved ones, being fulfilled with the life you're living, not living a depressed, difficult, dark life that's isolated from other people. So get out there, see friends, see family, exercise, eat healthy, experience life. It's what everybody in your life, past and present, would want. And I think that's where I want to leave it today.
Yeah. Listen, energy, positive energy, confidence is infectious. And if you can learn how to navigate through these shitstorms of life, Nick, everybody wants to feel valued, loved, respected, looked up to. It's just humans, man.
Sure.
And if you can learn how to build those tools, because with each shitstorm, with each illness, and you get through that, you get built up. And then before you know it, you'll have an army of people around you that look up to you, that will be there for you. And bitching or complaining and whining about these things is only going to downgrade you and your life and the people around you. So it's a very black and white situation, Nick.
It's true.
So listen to the LynchFit podcast.
Of course.
Learn how to be an eagle.
Mm-hmm.
Don't sit in your shit like a pigeon, okay? And realize that the reaper's coming for us all. God is testing us all, throwing us shit storms, and you just got to learn how to navigate it and become bigger and stronger and better. And, that's the best we can do, Nick, right? Life is good, brother.
Life is good.
Yeah.
Life is good. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this week. Remember, this week, check in on somebody in your life who might need a little extra tender love and care, and make sure you're attending to yourself as well. Make sure that you're exercising, make sure you're eating right, get that energy from the sunlight every day. Make sure that you are doing what you can to stay mentally and physically healthy, because it's going to be the best thing for you.
Yep. Like Nick said, life will give you roses and it will give you storms. And it's going to be a matter of how you navigate through those things. So if you know somebody who's dealing with sadness, depression, anything that's sending them back, maybe pass this along to them. Maybe this video will help them. And if you're somebody who's got all your stuff together and you're a strong person, God bless you. And if you watch this and you'd like to share an experience that you've had, a loss, and how you got through it, we'd love to hear about it in the comments. And any questions you have, we could always try to answer those as well. But thank you for watching this, and please pass it along to anybody that you know that may benefit from this, because we all need a lift from time to time. So, because I know I do. And I know you do, Nick, and we are human. And if you're somebody who thinks that you don't need a lift, you're fooling yourself. So, thank you, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Please hit the like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you don't miss any content in the future.